Since I was a child, my parents, especially my father, exposed my sister and I to so many different cultures through music, films, and literature and art. So I've always been someone who deeply and sincerely appreciates all different cultures of the world. This state of mind has been ingrained in me ever since I can remember. I can't even start to imagine what it would be like to discriminate others and be part of something like racist acts, or think in a racist manner, be violent towards other human beings, let alone because of their ethnicity. So this thought came to me last week when I was reading the introduction to this cookbook, Afro Vegan. I received it in the mail, and this is a recipe book I've wanted for the last 3 or 4 years. I've had my eye on it because I feel like I don't really know and understand African cooking. That's very broad, I know. I'm speaking of sub-Saharan Africa and Caribbean cooking, African American recipes. And now I'm so happy I got it because learning about cultures through their food is one of my favorite ways to do it. I'm always fascinated by how many different combinations of spices and ingredients there exists in other countries. Flavors that I wouldn't even have thought of putting together or that I didn't even know existed. So the author, Brian Terry, says that there's an invisibility and marginalization of food from the African diaspora. And that is what really motivated him to write this book. There is a notable failure to, 1, acknowledge that the modern world is indebted to ancient Africans for basic farming techniques and agricultural production methods. 2, appreciate the agricultural expertise, rice production, cooking techniques, roasting, deep frying, steaming in leaves, and ingredients, black-eyed peas, okra, sesame, watermelon, that Africans contributed to the New World cuisine. And 3, recognize the centrality of African diasporic people in helping define the tastes, ingredients, and classic dishes of the original modern global fusion cuisine, Southern food. You see, it is not enough to celebrate the food of the African diaspora without appreciating the people who gave birth to this rich culinary heritage. This part here that I just read is a good reminder that there are things that we take for granted as being part of our culture that were often brought by outsiders. In this case, of course, enslaved African people. For example, African American people are the source of jazz music, blues, funk. I mean, they brought this music into this world. So I've been lucky enough to travel my whole life with my family. And since 2015, I traveled almost nonstop with my partner Gabriel in 20 countries. These trips have opened my eyes and my mind even more to the beauty of this world. Languages, how each of them has their own musicality. Music, how diverse and rich it is in each country that we went to, whether it was Lebanon, Morocco, Egypt, Greece, Bulgaria, Vietnam, Thailand, Peru, or Colombia. How much history there is and context there is to traditional clothes of each country, of each region. I am personally absolutely enamored by generally globally sub-Saharan African clothing, from Senegal, Mali, Nigeria, Congo, or Djibouti. I listen to music like the famous Ali Farka Touré, Malian singer and multi-instrumentalist, or BKO Quintet, also a band from Mali, and I get goosebumps.
Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Comment ça va chez vous? Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Comment ça va chez toi?
I feel so many emotions and excitement when I listen to this music. One time I went to see a Senegalese dance performance, and honestly I was just hypnotized by it. It was so lively and joyful, visually stunning, and truly electrifying. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, because I was exposed at a very young age to multiple different cultures, because I developed this genuine curiosity and passion for them, because I traveled and actually sat down with local people, shared a meal with them, listened to their stories, read their history, and learned about the infinite number of languages there sometimes is in one single country. I mean, racism hasn't even entered my mind as an option in life. So as human beings, we are conditioned constantly by our surroundings as to how we decide to view the world, how we perceive other people. It's pretty much by listening to what our family says since we're babies, what our friends, what society and media has to say, that we then build our mindset. My outlook on the world was built since I was a young girl, to see all cultures as equally beautiful, equally fascinating, interesting, as in they all have something special and unique to offer us. So growing up, I would see a person who maybe looks different, speaks a different language, dresses differently, ate, cooked differently, listened to different music, painted and danced in a different way. And all that would cross my mind, honestly, would be, wow, what a rich, diverse, beautiful world we live in. I want to learn more. I want to be a part of this. I want to understand your ways. And without it even being my intention, I think I developed a natural empathy and compassion. I think this is the key to being open to all cultures and ethnicities. We have to teach children from the moment they're born that all human beings are equal, that all cultures are equally beautiful. You know, when we plant a seed of judgment and racism towards others into a child's brain, it is extremely difficult or even impossible to remove this seed after. Really though, what a beautiful world we live in, where there are so many types of music, of art, of dances, of ways to prepare rice and vegetables and spices, of literatures and music. The list goes on and on and on. So I wonder if we were all taught that we are all beautiful in our own unique way since the very beginning, since we were born. If we didn't think our cultural ways were superior to other people's ways, if we simply accepted and genuinely appreciated others for their languages, for their art, traditions, maybe, just maybe, racism would vanish. So just a disclaimer, before anyone goes crazy, I don't claim to have all the answers and solutions to erase racism. These are merely personal thoughts that I've had throughout my life that I've decided to share with you in a very concise and summarized form, so remember that. I hope you understand this is just a short, generalized video that I kind of casually decided to make. And I hope you understand that the actual topic of racism is incredibly complex. And all the books, music, documentaries, speeches, and videos in the world probably couldn't even cover it. I think there are many different approaches and ways to, stop racism and even make sure that from the very beginning, people are not conditioned to develop discriminatory states of mind and racist viewpoints. But here I decided to focus and reflect on my personal story. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I hope you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel and join the Holistic Maya family for more interesting videos. I'll see you next week. Bye. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. One no, there is one question I'd really love to ask. One heart, is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own beliefs? One love, one heart, let's get together